Good evening. I would like to start by saying that the University of Western Australia acknowledges the custodians and traditional owners of land on which any of its campuses are located. At the main campus, Crawley, from which this meeting is being broadcast, the university acknowledges the Whadjuk Noongar people as the traditional owners of the land on which it is situated. The Whadjuk Noongar remain the spiritual and cultural custodians of their land and continue to practice their values, languages, beliefs and knowledge. We pay our respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. Greetings and good evening, good afternoon and good morning to graduates joining us locally, interstate and worldwide. I welcome you all. We have graduates joining us from Chile, China, Gambia, Indonesia, Japan, Malaysia, Maldives, Pakistan, Papua New Guinea, Singapore, Sweden, Thailand, Uganda, United Kingdom, United States and Vietnam. My name is Leslie Kaler and in my role of Warden of Convocation, I will be chairing our proceedings. This is our fifth ordinary meeting to be conducted by Zoom webinar, responding to the COVID-19 situation. Zoom allows others to join us in fellowship who live far away. As most would agree, 2 hours is a long time for a meeting, so we will try to conclude this meeting no later than 8:30 p.m. tonight. All questions on notice have been registered before the meeting with the Warden via the Convocation Officer. We have received a total of 17 questions and we will endeavour to answer as many as possible during this meeting. Any others will be carried on to the next meeting in September. A poll will be conducted from those who attended the Spring Ordinary meeting. You will receive instructions on how to register your vote at the time polling is required. I wish to welcome former Chancellor and former Governor, the Honourable Dr. Ken Michael, AC, SIT, WA, the Guild President, Mr. Amitabha Jagannathan, Guest Speaker, Professor Ray De Silva Rosa, the Chief Advancement Officer, Ms. Fiona Allen, members of Senate, members of Convocation, and all members of Convocation, including their guests and friends. We are delighted you have been able to join us here today. I now formally declare the meeting open at 6:35. Note that I have apologies from the former Governor of WA, the Honourable Dr. Malcolm McCusker, AC, CVO, QC. From the former Governor of WA, the Honourable Kerry Sanderson, AC, and the Honourable Sue Ellery, MLC, Minister for Education and Training. If anyone wishes to convey any additional apologies, please provide these to the Convocation Officer, Ms. Juanita Perez, at convocation@uwa.edu.au, who will record the details. I will now move to item 3 on the meeting agenda, the minutes of the Spring Ordinary meeting held on Friday the 17th of September 2021, which are enclosed in the agenda booklet for this meeting and which have been posted on the Convocation website and included in the reminder email sent to you on Wednesday the 16th of March. No requests to amend the minutes have been received. I have a motion from someone who attended the Spring Ordinary meeting 2021 to move acceptance of the minutes. Adjunct Professor Dr. Brett Davies, thank you. And someone who seconded the motion, Mr. Jeff Gunningham, thank you. I will now ask those who participated in the meeting held on the 17th of September to indicate their approval for confirmation of the minutes by poll. I will continue with the meeting while the others are voting in the poll. Moving to item 5, business arising from the minutes of the last virtual ordinary meeting, The webinar does not allow discussion, so would any member with such business forward it to the Convocation officer by email to convocation@uwa.edu.au. Questions on notice will be answered by the panel later and will be included in the minutes of this meeting. Convocation receives much correspondence on many matters, both as emails and letters, and they are largely addressed to and by our Convocation officer and me as warden. I wish to thank all the members of Convocation who took the time to contact me and Convocation Council in that period, as we value members' views on issues important to Convocation. We now come to item 7, the results of the Convocation elections for Warden, Deputy Warden, members of the Council of Convocation and one member of Senate. In accordance with Clause 45(1) of the UWA Statute, Convocation approves an electronic voting process and a postal voting process for elections. In accordance with the University of Western Australia Act 1911 and the University of Western Australia Statutes Chapter 4, the annual Convocation elections were held this year to fill the following positions: one member of Senate, Warden of Convocation, Deputy Warden of Convocation, and 7 members of the Council of Convocation, 6 of whom are elected for 3 years and 1 elected for 2 years. To ensure the utmost probity in the conduct of these elections, Convocation Council took the decision to outsource the conduct of these elections. This year, Convocation Council appointed Corpvote Property Limited to undertake the election process. At the close of ballots on the Tuesday, the 8th of March 2022, the following were elected: one member of Senate, Adjunct Professor Warren Kerr, AM, elected unopposed for a 3-year term; Warden of Convocation, Emeritus Professor Jenny Gregory, AM, a 1-year term; and Deputy Warden Dr. David Griffiths, elected unopposed, also for a 1-year term. As there were only 5 candidates for the 7 positions of Ordinary Convocation Councillor, the following members have been elected unopposed for a 3-year term, and in alphabetical order: Adjunct Professor Dr. Brett Davies, Dr. Aggie Gideon, Ms. Nini Ong, Mr. Rick Stern, and Professor Mark Tennant, AM. As Dr. David Griffiths, a current serving councillor, has been elected as Deputy Warden, he is deemed to have vacated the position of Ordinary Councillor. This means that there are now 3 vacancies on the Council. The vacancies are 1 for a 3-year term, 1 for a 2-year term, and 1 for a 1-year term. If you or someone you know are interested in nominating for these positions, please contact the Convocation officer. I would like to express my deepest thanks and appreciation to retiring members of Council for their time, dedication and significant contribution to Convocation and the University. The retiring members are Miss Megan Lee, Councillor Julie Matheson, Dr. Elijah Nathan and Mr. Jonathan Strauss, and offer congratulations to those who have been elected. The poll has now closed. The minutes have been confirmed. Thank you to those who voted in the poll. We now come to item 8, the Vice-Chancellor's report. The Vice-Chancellor has a prior engagement, so will not join us until about 7:15, after the Guild President's report, the Warden's report and the guest speaker's address. The Vice-Chancellor will then deliver his report, and following the Vice-Chancellor's report, we will then proceed to the Q&A session. So the Guild President's report is item 9 on our agenda. I now invite Ami Jagannathan to deliver his first report to Convocation.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here to speak to you, especially during these times. I'm Amitabh, and I have the privilege of serving the UWA student body as their 109th Guild President. The UWA Student Guild operates with 6 main pillars: student representation, social engagement, opportunities to get involved, support services, food and drink on campus, and providing discount and value for students. All of these services are funded by the SAF, of which we receive 50%, in addition to the revenue we raise through our commercial operations. The Guild employs over 100 people. Naturally, COVID-19 has led to complications and cancellations for some of our initiatives. Even so, we've still managed to host our annual O-Day with a record number of clubs present. The event was a massive success, with extremely positive feedback from both students and clubs. Being able to run the event in a COVID-safe way, given the restrictions that have since been put in place, has given the student body the ability to connect to their campus and to our famous club culture. We've also managed to keep our inter-faculty sports program running through our sports department. This program is a weekly competition that highlights a different sport each week, from frisbee to futsal. Teams are put forward by the faculty societies and compete to gain points and be crowned the Interfac champion at the end of the year. So far this year, we've run a sports carnival and an ultimate frisbee round. We're also continuing to provide support through Student Assist and running Guild volunteering events. The launch of the pop-up Good Sammy's op shop was also a highlight of the start of the year. All in all, it's been a very successful start to the year, given the challenges we've faced with COVID. We're hopeful that the transition out of COVID will be a positive experience, and that we'll be able to support clubs to bring students back to campus. Looking forwards, we're looking to launch a bunch of exciting projects and initiatives for students. Our focus this year can be broken down into 3 main categories: campus activation, internal processes, and finally, student-focused initiatives. Naturally, some departments will tend to address one of these more than another, but as a collective, these categories will help us deliver holistic change for the student body. Campus activation has to be a clear priority for the Guild as we aim to transition out of COVID-19. Now more than ever, it's important to build a strategy for how we can help students feel a sense of connectedness and pride in their campus. To achieve this, we've started a couple of key projects. Firstly, night campus activation. Our goal with this is to create a campus environment after dark that encourages students to come to UWA for reasons other than to study. Currently, campus at night is dark, and the only place you'll find students is in the libraries. What we want is to promote more seating options, better lighting, and more food options at night. Secondly, New York art. UWA has such a deep-running culture of student artists, some of whom go on to become very prolific in both the local Perth scene and in Australia at large. However, currently there are minimal opportunities for student artists to be promoted at UWA. What we're advocating for is for large art pieces to be displayed on the dead spaces on the sides of buildings in a New York-style art display. This would allow students to feel more connection to their physical campus, but also allow us to promote the student talent we have here at this university. Thirdly, sports at the tavern. Major sporting events are often times for students to come together. I personally have many fond memories of me and my friends getting together to spend late nights watching the Champions League finals. We believe that showing these events will offer students opportunities to make new friends and make memories at uni. 4, and finally, the underpass revitalization. Continuing the work that Emma started last year, we're hoping to bring new life to the underpass under Stirling Highway, which have become dark and dirty. We're aiming to improve the lighting in this space, as well as introducing a mural by student artists. Our second major priority is internal processes. The Guild's biggest challenge is the turnover of office bearers each year. This makes it almost impossible for institutional knowledge to stay around, and it also means that the work done previously often falls by the wayside as new Guild councils get elected. This year, we're working to optimize our processes to minimize this effect and also to help us deliver long-term impact more effectively. We're achieving this through the following 6 projects. Firstly, the strategic plan. This year, we're writing the Guild's strategic plan, which will outline our focus and vision for the next 5 years. With the strategic plan, we hope to set up an agile and clear plan for the direction of our organization. Secondly, election reform. The Guild's election is one of the most visible aspects of the Guild's bureaucracy, and its systems have been taken advantage of in recent years. This is most evident in the ballot flooding that has occurred in recent years, where parties have run over 100 candidates for the OGC position. This has resulted in a ballot of over 300 candidates for the 13 available positions, creating a voting environment that is both predatory for candidates, but also unpleasant for voters. This, among other issues, is what we aim to rectify in our election reform this year. Thirdly, our Guild Research Hub. As part of our efforts to shift the Guild to be more future-focused, we're establishing a research hub, which will organize and run surveys and research into the student body, with a view to providing an evidence-backed approach to our strategies and activism. The hub will allow us to make compelling arguments for change and to represent the students better on the important issues. Fourth, the Student Project Board. Currently, the only way for students to make meaningful change at UWA is to be elected onto the Guild. The Project Board is our attempt to open up more opportunities for passionate students who want to drive change. The board would empower students who want to tackle issues on campus, to be given the funding and the support that they need to achieve the change that they want to see. Fifth, sexual harassment and bullying guidelines. The Societies Council is reviewing its bullying and harassment guidelines to help create a safer environment for members of club committees. The focus of this project is to streamline the processes into an easily communicable, transparent pathway. Sixth, and finally, consulting services for PAC clubs. The Public Affairs Council, or PAC, is composed of the cultural clubs and social impact clubs at UWA. These clubs often struggle for engagement, as their target market is either volunteers or members of specific cultural groups. As a result, the council is now offering consulting services to these clubs, assisting with marketing, event planning, and strategy. The members of this council all have extensive experience in larger clubs and are providing their experience to these clubs. Finally, we're looking to deliver really impactful changes for the average student. Our focus here is low barrier, large reach initiatives. We have 3 main projects underway. Firstly, UW Radio. Some of you might fondly remember UWA's once iconic radio station. This year, we're looking to bring it back, and bring it back as a mainstay of student culture. Our radio will offer us an opportunity to engage in the new wave of student media, including podcasts, platforming of student musicians, and the delivery of breaking news. Secondly, the Healthy Minds module. The Healthy Minds module would be an online module looking to provide early level support for mental health. Built into LMS, the module would provide information on practices like CBT and provide tips for students on how to look after their mental health in a proactive way. The project would involve connecting with academic staff who are leaders in their field for clinical backing to the content provided. Third and finally, our social media revamp. We're looking to engage students better through our social media, through engaging students through new media forms like TikTok and Instagram Reels, as well as producing more light-hearted content. The aim with this is to humanize the Guild more for students, to foster that peer-to-peer relationship that makes the Guild such an effective body. All these projects simply scratch the surface for what we plan to do this year. The 109th Guild Council is a motivated, unified, and hard-working group. I'm excited to lead this team this year, for the year ahead, and for all the wins we can get for students. I look forward to working with Brett and Warren this year on Senate, and to strengthen the long-standing connection between Convocation and the Guild with the new warden. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amitabha, for your report. Item 10 is the Warden's report. This is in the agenda booklet and has been posted online. In addition to my written report on the Convocation website, I wish to highlight that the Council works to enhance the reputation of the university, maintain a long-standing commitment to undergraduate and postgraduate scholarships, bursaries and awards, encourage good governance of the university through the election of members of Convocation to the University Senate and the Council of Convocation, bring graduates together in a range of activities, including reunions. The Council is undertaking a strategic planning process which will be shared with members at a later date when it is completed. If you or someone you know would like to be involved in activities like these, please nominate for a position on Convocation Council. Every year we celebrate Convocation Day. Convocation Day celebrates the inaugural meeting of the Convocation of Graduates in 1913. Last year, a tree planting ceremony was held at James Oval. We then adjourned to the Bilya-Mali River of the Swan, the new UWA Centre for Indigenous Studies, for a tour and light refreshments. This year, unfortunately due to the increasing risk of COVID-19 transmission amongst the community and the government mandate limiting numbers permitted to attend outdoor events, we have decided to cancel Convocation Day, which was planned for Sunday the 13th of March. While this is disappointing, the health and safety of our graduate community remains our highest priority, and we hope to reschedule this event for later in the year. Each year, the Convocation of UWA graduates presents prizes and scholarships to undergraduate students, postgraduate students and graduates. Convocation's annual award ceremony was held in person last August and was well attended by our donors and student award winners and their family and friends. All of these prizes and scholarships were made possible by graduates who contributed to excellence through their generous donations. On behalf of the Council of Convocation and our students, I thank you. Please contact the Convocation officer if you too would like to make a contribution to awards and scholarships. The 50th reunion luncheon of the graduates of 1971 was held last November at the banquet hall in the University Club, at which the principal speaker was former Governor of WA, the Honourable Kerry Sanderson AC, who is a graduate of 1971. This event was very well attended by graduates and their guests. This event brought together UWA graduates from 1971. We also welcomed UWA graduates and guests from previous graduating years, as well as colleagues from Senate and staff. These special campus-wide annual reunions commenced right back in 1985. At the 1971 event, a Convocation Medal was presented to Dr. Doug McGee in recognition of his long-standing service to Convocation and Convocation Council, including his leadership, inspiration and outstanding contribution as the Warden of Convocation for the University of Western Australia 2017 to 2020. I wish to share with you the wonderful news that Gavin Knott, a UWA graduate, has been awarded a Snow Medical Foundation Fellowship worth $8 million over 8 years, having entered UWA just 14 years ago to start his undergraduate studies. His team is seeking to unlock the next generation of transformative biotechnologies that empower RNA biomedicine. Item 11 is the Convocation Officer's Report, which is contained in the agenda booklet. This report is required by statute and contains a list of graduates whose whereabouts have become unknown since our last ordinary meeting in September. To assist you to locate colleagues and friends, The list is sorted by faculty and year of graduation to help you check if there is anyone you may know. If you do know the whereabouts of anyone, please contact the Convocation officer. Thank you. Item 12, other business, is the presentation of a Convocation medal to Emily Hoare, President of Ignite Mentoring, for winning the 2021 Convocation Outstanding Student Volunteer of the Year award. Emily has been described as powerful, positive and empathetic, with an unwavering dedication to Ignite Mentoring's mission that has involved endless hours of volunteering. Emily goes above and beyond in her role as Ignite Mentoring President, overseeing a complex leadership structure while ensuring that each member of the team, from the executive committee to individual mentors, feel valued and included. Emily is always searching for ways to have a significant community impact and to engage with the wider community. She has ensured that the organisation innovates and grows, reaching new pools of volunteers while strengthening ties with partner schools and expanding corporate sponsorship. Unfortunately, Emily has moved to Sydney for work and is unable to join us tonight. This is the medal that has been presented to Emily. She has kindly conveyed her words of thanks and said, "Thank you to the UWA Convocation for the Convocation Medal for Outstanding Student Volunteer. I apologise for being unable to attend in person. Volunteers never volunteer for recognition, but it is wonderful to see Convocation recognising and supporting student volunteers. Ignite Mentoring was a huge part of my volunteering experience, and this recognition is really recognising the wonderful work done by all the Ignite Mentoring volunteers who I was fortunate enough to volunteer alongside. Thank you once again, and I look forward to continuing to volunteer after university."